As an entrepreneur, one of the most important decisions that you'll ever make in any new venture that you have is the decision to either have a partner or partners or not. And if you decide to have partners, deciding and choosing who those partners will be. And yet oftentimes see that this is one of the most hastily made decisions that you'll have in your entire business, right? Oftentimes we're with friends or like-minded people, we're chopping up ideas, we come to something that we think we may actually have stumbled upon a business, and we decide to move forward, and a partnership is born without any real thought or intention in terms of what that partnership looks like and who those partners are. And yet this is one of the most important decisions that you'll ever make in a business. I was fortunate enough that my very first business I launched with my brother, we had a 15-year partnership that I learned a ton from. I'm grateful for that partnership to this day. The only reason that partnership ended is because we got 15 years in and realized that the business no longer needed probably either one of us, but it certainly didn't need both of us. And so we worked out an arrangement that allowed me to move on into what I really wanted to be doing and what I was passionate about, which is coaching other businesses to help them get more of what they wanted, allowed him to take over the business. And so that's what lands me here today. But I had a phenomenal partnership. If you are considering launching a new venture and you are deciding to have partners, I want you to consider three things very, very strongly in that process. Number one, I want you to consider how closely aligned your values are to any other partners that you'll have in the business. Oftentimes we launch businesses with people that we like and people that we get along with, and we feel like we have similar values, but that's not always the case. Oftentimes you can have a founder who is a win-at-all-cost founder, and that's what leads to their success. And you can have a founder who is an integrity-at-all-cost founder, and that's what leads to their success. And oftentimes those can be in concert with each other, and decisions that we make can have both of those as a guiding principle. But there will be times in business where win-at-all-cost and integrity will be in opposition to each other. And if you have two founders who share opposite values in this like this, it will cause friction in your business and oftentimes will cause a business to fail. If you are launching a business, I need you to consider how closely aligned your values are with other founders. Number two, I want you to make sure that the resources and talents that you bring to the business are both equally and oppositely aligned with any other founders. Now, when I say equally, if you've got three partners who are all third, I want them to be bringing equal talents, resources, energy to the business. If you've got a 10% partner and two 40% partners, I mean that it needs to be equal to the percentage of ownership within a business. I see too often though that people come together, we've got three founders, they chop it up as a third, and yet one of the founders has a full-time or a part-time gig on the side that they're using to actually drum up income, and that takes up a large percentage of their time, which is okay in the first 6 months because there's a lot of energy and excitement around building the business. They'll probably contribute what they need to be contributing. But when we get 6 months or 6 years down the road, and they still have a second full-time job, that starts to become something that is really irritating and grating on an ownership team or a partnership when you're not bringing the same amount of energy and resources and talent to a partnership. I also want those to be oppositely aligned. And when I say that, I mean, you don't want two people who come, two visionaries to an organization with no operator. You don't want two operators with no visionary. You're looking for opposite talents that you're going to bring together for a partnership that actually bring additional, not just horsepower, but additional resources, strengths, and ideas to an organization. So a technical founder, an operations-based founder, a visionary founder could all together make a really, really good team. So make sure that you're equally and oppositely aligned. The final thing is just put things in writing. And I don't say this because you don't trust your other founders or because you don't trust your partners, but because memories are imperfect. And I've seen too many times where partnerships become have this level of friction that is completely unnecessary, and oftentimes even disband because of a disagreement around a decision or an agreement that was made where neither person is trying to fraud the other side. They just have a different memory or recollection of what that decision or that agreement was. And so no matter how big or how small, just put everything in writing. If it's a big decision like how much of the company do we own, you'll probably want to put that in writing and have it signed by all partners or all parties. If it's a smaller decision, like when we agree that we were going to start taking distributions, I might just put that in an email when we agreed that we wouldn't take distributions for the first year, but starting in year 2, we would try and take distributions to ownership. I would just put that in writing, put it in an email, so that if we have, again, imperfect memories or a disagreement about what we had, or we remember differently what we had agreed upon, we can just go back to an email and it makes it really, really easy to solve that. And so I just want to encourage you to understand how important the decision is to whether or not to have a partner or a co-founder in your business. And if you decide to have a partner or partners in your business, I just want you to consider how closely aligned are your values, how equal and opposite are your contributions to the company, and put everything in writing as you move through this process, so that not understanding that you think people are going to defraud you or because you can't trust your other founders, but just knowing and understanding that memories are imperfect, and imperfect memories can often cause unnecessary tension. Hopefully you guys can have a partnership as strong and as amazing as I did, and have a venture that you get everything that you want out of with the partnerships that you choose.